glass.
Hard to get a
glass of wine.
For dinner?
She's saying wine.
Glass of wine, no, I'd be sleeping. That's one thing I can't do is yeah, whiskey.
That's what some people I've talked to is that. No. And then have more sex. Oscar, right? Yeah, his office tag was on it.
Oh, was it?
His new trailer looks nice.
Oh, yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's a new trailer.
Oh.
Mhm.
Got a new truck, he needs a new trailer with the truck.
There you go.
Is that the school car?
Yeah.
The wind car?
No.
Oh, somebody's ringing it?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, that's awful heavy for the wind.
It is. Two little all them together.
Hi, Dawn.
How you doing?
Great. And you?
Good.
Do I have permission to use? Absolutely. Anytime. It's unedited, so. Pardon? It's unedited, so. They'll probably just put the link in. Whoops.
Thank you.
What's that?
Backup battery pack. I use my phone through the day, so.
Pardon me?
I use that phone through the day, so.
The chief was supposed to make some.
Oh, yeah.
And this time we have a deposition testimony. Paul, right? Yeah. Captain. Everyone looks excited to be here.
It's 7 o'clock. We'd like to start the meeting with a salute to the flag.
Oh,
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call by the clerk, please.
Trustee Judas?
Here.
Trustee Pringle?
Here.
Trustee Reno?
Here.
Trustee Paul? Present. Treasurer Shanka?
Here.
Clerk Davis? Here. Supervisor Moon?
Here. Approval of the April 6, 2025, 2026 meeting minutes.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes for the April 6, 2026 meeting.
Motion by Pringle. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Falk. Is there any discussion regarding the minutes? See none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public comments. Anyone wishing to address the board, we ask that you state your name and address, and the board's being recorded for future use. Anyone?
Is anybody else? I've got a lengthy list, sorry. Good evening, members of the board. By the way, I'm Carol Miller. I have several items to briefly address tonight. Many residents are simply asking that township board meetings be recorded or live streamed to improve transparency and public access. If implementation is not agreed upon at this time for whatever reason, I would respectfully ask that the existing podium and microphone system at the museum be brought over and be used in position so all speakers can be heard clearly for the next meeting. Even from the audience, it's often difficult to hear portions of the discussion, particularly when board members are not speaking directly to the public. I ask for tonight that if speaking to board members, please speak up a little bit with a louder voice. Second, regarding the Parks and Recreation partnership with the City of Port Huron, I request some clarification. It was brought up by the Fort Gratiot Board. Is current and past arrangement by a formal written agreement, or is it currently operating under an informal understanding? If it's not already in formal contract, will the board be reviewing and approving an agreement moving forward to ensure transparency, financial clarity, and accountability for both residents of the township? I know accepting to pay for a handshake deal and charges over what the citizens expect cannot be authorized without board vote and approval. Third, I'd appreciate an update on the canal, specifically where things currently stand, what the timeline is, and what remaining steps are anticipated. Fourth, there's been a community discussion regarding the former Art Van building. Can the board clarify any of the current status of that site and whether any sale, redevelopment, or formal plans are underway? The next is I'd like to ask about the interstate capital development and related EDA involvement. If the township is considering or has approved any tax abatements, brownfield incentives, or other financial tools for this or similar projects, I would respectfully ask that the total projected value of those incentives over time be made clear in public. Additionally, will all such agreements be brought before the board for public review and discussion prior to final approval? Next, there was a recent issue involving text.gov notifications not reaching residents during a boil water advisory. And yes, the people did sign up for text.gov. This raises an important public safety concern. It may be beneficial to provide residents with a clear, easy to understand information sheet outlining exactly what to do during a boil water advisory, especially for those who have never experienced one. I'd also like to have an update on the Dove property owned by the St. Clair County Treasurer. There's been a lot of confusion in the community on social media regarding whether this is our jurisdiction or if it's the county. I believe it's the county because I believe it's in foreclosure. The water tower, I do realize it's going to be painted, but there was an increasing concern about trash and debris around the area, and it's not reflective of the community we want to present to residents or visitors. I'd encourage the township to consider an organized seasonal cleanup effort for all township residents, ideally in the spring and fall, possibly in coordination with the rec and DDA boards, staff, and community volunteers. More broadly, I want to address the issue of blight and property maintenance. Even a short drive through portions of the township reveals multiple properties that appear to be in violation or in disrepair. This suggests that a reactive, complaint-driven approach alone is not working, but indeed becoming worse. As we approach the township's 200th anniversary, I believe we should be moving toward a more proactive and collaborative enforcement strategy, one that includes outreach assistance where appropriate and clear enforcement where necessary. someone who will work with the community and communicate kindly to all residents. Some residents may be dealing with financial hardship, age, or disability, and a balanced approach that includes communication and support can improve outcomes for the entire community. If formal complaints are needed to initiate action, I'm willing to complete them. This truly is a sad situation that residents see, and if I can drive around for a short period of time and come up with basic blight issues, what is the blight officer doing, spending his time on? Again, as I have previously stated, I think it's time to hire someone who can do the job well with compassion and kindness and give available resources rather than just writing a form letter. And I just want to tell you, I drove around for a half hour. There you go. That's a lot. And that's in one neighborhood. One neighborhood. So what is our blight officer doing? Additionally, there are ongoing concerns about encampments and unmanaged areas on certain properties, including those owned by third parties such as the railroad. And yes, this township owns most of those properties. I would encourage the township to coordinate where possible with adjacent property owners and relevant agencies to address these conditions in a constructive and timely manner. It's time to take hold of the situation and make it a permanent cleaned area. Our reputation is really negative by the surrounding townships and city residents. On a side note, I was asked if I know what a TIF is. And that was at the last meeting, outside of the normal meeting decorum. Yes, I do know what a TIF is. Had you looked over my resume closely, you would have seen that I do have a business degree, and I also have a father who owned a company. So I know more than you think I do. Also, I greeted the board when I began to speak at the last meeting and said, "Good evening, board," and those watching from home. According to public comment rules that this board adopted, I was not disrupted. I was recognized by the chairperson to speak, and I did not ask for the people at home to engage in debate. I also do know the OMA rules, as you know. So I was not being rude or going against what this board has adopted. I really think that this board, no matter who it is, should welcome the citizens who are unable to comment and are watching from home. To engage your citizens you represent is a key to a positive community, and all in all, it's the right thing to do. So that's what I have. And just so you know, I've got the things that I'd like you to address in correspondence if you want the list that I went over, so you don't
I
have
got what
to.
I've already got some of those that I'm going to address in correspondence, and
That's enough.
anyone else? Yes, sir.
My name's Robbie Clearwood. We bought the place on Partridge Street, 2300 Partridge Street. Our property is fenced in, and on the outside of the fence, there's a deep ditch on the side and a deep ditch on the back. Who maintains it? I mean, is my fence on the property line, or is it by the edge of the ditch?
I wouldn't have any idea what you're talking about without seeing it. As far as property lines, we don't.
Well, the biggest thing is there was a lot of dead trees, and it took down a good part of my fence, and we just got done repairing it, my stepson and I. And it seems like every time the weather gets bad, a tree comes over, and you think somebody could maintain, cut that up. I don't want to jump on somebody else's property and start cutting trees.
Right.
Yeah,
I could, can I make an appointment to come out and look at it?
you sure can.
I'll talk to you after the meeting and get your phone number.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? All right. Seeing none, we'll move on to new agenda items. Fire Chief's report.
Good evening. As you can see, it's been a busy 2 months. Haven't even had time to get a haircut yet. So I did put the notable incidents. If anybody has any questions on those, there was a couple that I missed due to the 3 notable incidents being fairly large. And I have for you today 3 requests. The first one is to approve the resolution for Michigan Mutual Aid box lane system. So that is a statewide mutual aid agreement. We typically, so with this, we have been part of it, I believe, since 2009-ish. They did misplace our paperwork as long as everybody else is in St. Clair counties. So this agreement, for instance, the Sheboygan Dam that was about to collapse, the state sent me an email seeing if I had any resources available. Since I do run pretty lean, I didn't. So I just told them that I had none available. So this is more, as far as I'm concerned, us needing to receive any outside aid. Tornado comes through, large fire, where we have to expand resources beyond St. Clair County.
Someone like to make a motion to approve resolution 2026.05.04.8.
I'll make that move.
Motion by Reno, support by Dudash. Is there any discussion?
It's a good organization.
Yeah,
It costs nothing to be part of this, and once you get out of it, you're telling me so much more.
yeah, there's resources not only for fire, but water rescue, wildland. Pretty much, if you can dream it, we can find some resources. There is a MABUS meeting coming up next month that I'm going to attend right before I leave for class.
All right, roll call by the clerk, please.
Reno,
Yes.
Dudash,
Yes.
Pringle,
Yes.
Falk, yes. Shonka,
Yes.
Davis, yes. Lewandowski.
Yes.
Okay, next I'm looking to approve the quote to repair the fire station apparatus bay floors. I do have a small presentation on it just so you guys can see and the general public can kind of see the condition of the floor. I was only able to get one quote on this. I do have in my pamphlet one company saying they were unable to perform the scope of work. Another company came out and looked at it, said no, but they wouldn't send me a letter that says they can't. And then any of the specific terrazzo floor companies based out of Detroit said the job is way too small for them to bring their crews up here. So a little history. John probably knows this a lot better than I do. Construction of the fire station was completed in 1978. I was able to find the old dedication that they had the day the construction crew handed us the keys. So November 5th, 1978.
No.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it shows up a lot bigger on my computer. So over the years, the station has seen many changes to staffing, equipment, apparatus. So if you look at the yellow truck on the left, that's generation 2. So the trucks that were originally in the station were even smaller than that. Now we're at generation 4. Fire trucks are a lot bigger and heavier than they have ever been. So John, you might know what fire this is. I'm not sure. It was in our newspaper clippings. But so why do I feel these repairs are necessary? I'd like to keep that building nice. I have no intentions on asking the board for a new fire station, at least in my time. I want to keep the one that I have in good repair. And then if we get these repairs done early, it's going to be a lot less expensive than tearing out the entire floor and redoing it. So as you can see, this bay door is where our primary engine goes in and out. So it goes in and out at least once a day. And you can see over time how the truck has worn down the metal strips. I have a better picture on the next slide. So these strips are metal transition slips, or strips that go from the terrazzo floor to the concrete outside. So with this bid, we're going to take those strips out, and they're going to add epoxy to make a smoother transition to the concrete surface outside. You can kind of see in the lower right side how it's rotting out. And that one's in a little better shape than some of the other ones. We do have some cracking. This is the main door that goes from the apparatus bay inside of the station. And so this quote, they're going to fix all of that. They're going to sand the entire floor. There is some staining in the next slide. So there's some orange and dark staining. All these chips, they're going to kind of grind out and repair. The repairs are going to be a little bit lighter than what's there because it's 50-year-old terrazzo floors. So basically what the terrazzo floor is epoxy mixed with like marble and stone. And so that's pretty much it. And just for future plans, I would like to come to the board probably, hopefully this can wait till next year. So I have not gotten any prices on it, but I'd like to replace the tube heaters that are out there. They were installed in 1986. We had to have some work done on them. They sent their oldest technician and he said, I was still in high school when this was installed. So, and most of you that have been over to our station know how large the bay is, and those tube heaters just run nonstop all winter. And lastly, down the road, I'd like to replace the garage doors. I believe those, so on the left side is the back doors. I believe those used to be the front doors when they first built the station. And I couldn't find a date on when they installed those front doors. I'm guessing somewhere around early 2000s. And so they took the front doors on the station and put them in the back. So I would like to find a more energy efficient door and possibly more windows in it. Those back windows are kind of crystallized, so you can't see through them. And we do have a lot of people wander up to the station at nighttime, so it would be nice to be able to peek out. So that's all I got. I'd like to thank you guys for your support.
Did they give you a timeline when they could start to do the work?
They did not. So they quoted this job originally in 2023. And then I couldn't find any others. I was trying to get three competitive bids. And then we had an engine failure on one of our fire trucks, and all these costs kept coming. So I never had it in my budget to do this. So I finally reached back out to them and said, hey, can you guys re-quote this? I know the cost of everything has gone up. They sent an email back that said, we'll stick with the original bid. We appreciate what you guys do. So they said it would, so I asked if they could do half the station and then finish it and then do the second half. That way not, all of our equipment's not outside. So they said that is going to extend it to probably a 4-day process versus a 2-day if they did the whole thing.
Supervisor, I'll make a motion that we approve the bid to replace the doors in the fire hall.
In the amount of $14,435.
Yes.
Is there support for that?
I'll support that.
Support by Falk. Is there any further discussion? See none, roll call by the clerk, please.
Reno,
Yes.
Falk,
Yes.
Pringle,
Yes.
Dudash,
Yes.
Shonka,
Yes.
Davis, yes, Lewandowski.
Yes.
And the last thing I got for you guys, since I won't be here at the next meeting, I'm looking for approval to hire up to 4 part-time firefighters. I've been conducting interviews this week. We did lose one of our part-timers to a full-time position in the city of Port Huron. So, and they are going to be hiring more. I'm unsure if it's our people or not. So I would like to kind of get ahead of that and hire at least 3 to 4. And then get them onboarded before the June meeting. That's what I'm asking for now.
Motion by Reno to support hiring 4 part-time firefighters. Is there support?
Support it.
Support by Falk. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I got for you.
All right.
Unless you guys have any questions?
Anybody have any questions for Andy?
If you hire these 4, does that get your roster up to where you need to be?
Yeah, realistically, hiring 2 would, but I'm going to account for potential other full-time spots. Every full-time fire department, police department's hiring in the state, so
Get them while you can.
get them while I can. I have 6 applicants right now, so I'm going to limit it to 4. And I'm going to kind of change up their training process a little bit. Typically, we just throw them on shift and they kind of learn on shift. I'm going to put them on a week of 40s with me, get them down pat on the basics. All these applicants are certified with their fire and EMT. So they're gonna work with me. That way, when I cut them loose to my shifts, it should be good to go. And we're gonna do a physical agility at the station too. That way I can gauge where they're at physically and try to help improve them.
We want to give a briefing on the Dove Road.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got called April 28th, the 3500 block of Dove Road for a structure collapse. They stated a vehicle was inside the building. So I was in the middle of a fire investigation. My duty captain called and said, hey, you should come out here and take a look at this. When I got there, initially they were trying to find a vehicle in this rubble of a house. They realized that the house was pulled over illegally. Somebody hooked a pickup truck up to it. There was tire marks and toe straps, and they pulled the exterior walls outward. There were people living in a camper next door to the house. There was a burnt out vehicle there, numerous chemical wastes, buckets, and stuff like that. So they said that the county was going to be taking possession of it. They told me at the end of May. I confirmed with our assessor that the county took possession of it March 31st. So in contact with the county, it's going to be their liability. So between myself and the county, we determined the dwelling no longer was safe. I did caution tape up. I found videos on Facebook of people crawling in and out of the dwelling. While they removed my caution tape, they were crawling in and out of it. Partially collapsed building, which adds obviously a risk to not only them, but to us trying to get them out if it indeed finished collapsing. So an emergency order was declared due to public health and safety, and so the building was torn down via Torello. So don't believe everything you see on Facebook. There was,
It's got to be true. It's on Facebook.
there was, like I said, the only dwelling that was there was since torn down by somebody, we don't know who, clearly pickup truck or something of the liking. So, I went back to the county for taxes March 31st. So nobody, as far as I knew, nobody was supposed to be living there. I believe we have ordinances against living in campers and just the general stuff that was there. There was a business operating. I contacted one of our assistant clerks. There was no business license on file for that address. And it was a scrapyard, truck parking, vape recycling, so lithium batteries. So with all this stuff combined, and it being county property, it was decided that it's best to remove everything. So I did notify the tenants or the squatters that Thursday this is all being removed. They did remove some stuff, and then when we came back Thursday morning, we did find that RV was vandalized as well. Windows were broken, doors were broken. I do have photo evidence of everything before, during, and after this event. Torello's left their excavator on scene overnight to finish debris removal. They came back and found their equipment was tampered with. Somebody pulled all the wiring out of their equipment. And so they had to pay a mechanic to basically rewire on site. So that's kind of the gist of it. So I'm not sure what the county's next step would be on that.
Yeah, we were basically told that if the county will reimburse the township for tearing it down. But if they don't get that number or whatever when it comes to tax sale, that they more likely would turn it over to us.
They pass the savings to us.
So, and that's the way those things work.
Yeah, so that's kind of the gist of that situation. It's unfortunate. It took, I was in the middle of a fire investigation, so that person's fire claim did get delayed due to this act of vandalism that originally happened there. So I was able to go back and work a few hours for free and get that done for them.
Are there other properties in that area that are being vandalized, or is that?
No, that is the only one. There is a lot. That's, I think, the only residential dwelling units in that immediate area. The rest are businesses. I do have some theories on that. I'm not gonna share, but so it is in a pretty tucked away spot in the township, because all those buildings, commercial buildings go home for the night. It's dark. So, but that has been a nuisance property for the last, I would say 6 years. We've been to numerous calls there. I did red tag that dwelling unit in about, I think, 2023. They had electrical fire. There was a bunch of illegal utility connections. So the DT came and removed the service line. So there has not been electricity to that property since then.
I don't think there's been water to that property.
I believe they shut the water off shortly after that due to winter coming and a way to heat it.
All right. Anyone have any questions for? Thank you, sir.
I have a question. Can I ask a question?
Not supposed to.
Okay.
Go up. We got time.
What about law enforcement? Do you call them out?
Yep, so law enforcement was there with us. Like I said, initially we got called for a vehicle striking a house. So the ambulance was there, sheriff's deputies were there. Once we realized that indeed wasn't happening, the ambulance cleared, and then the sheriff's deputies started their investigation.
But they came back the next day. They came back. You guys came back, and their equipment wires were pulled out and stuff.
Yep, I believe they did report that to our township deputy this morning. I think he was the one that told me about it.
You think they would have kept somebody around the clock just for the first couple of days?
Yeah. Yeah, it does seem to be a problem specifically in that property.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
That property's bare now.
Yeah.
All right. Item B, approved quote for benches and trash receptacles for Bakersfield Park pathway. You got a proposal in front of you in the amount of $8,017. Pretty much got that covered. A lot of that with grant money from Enbridge, and there was a grant through the EDA that they applied for. That the EDA applied for and then doled it out to communities a little bit to everybody. So
What was the total amount for the, was it 5,000 grant for the park, for the benches, for,
from Enbridge,
well, Enbridge, and you said EA too?
I don't recall what the EDA amount was. It was $3,000 to $5,000 somewhere in that range.
Okay.
I want to think closer to 3 though.
Make a motion to accept the proposal.
Have a motion by Dudash. Is there support?
I'll support that.
Support by Pringle. I just want to note that these are the exact same benches that we already have down there. That's why we're going with this company, because they have. Okay. Is there any further discussion?
Do we know when they're gonna be put out, or have a time frame of when we can expect to see them?
No, I don't.
Really
They've got a lead time of 8 to 12 weeks.
really look forward to the trash receptacle, because I walk my 2 dogs down there, so sometimes I carry the bags for quite a while.
We'll get another one of those stations coming too. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We should be getting a kayak launch cleaning station set up here pretty quick down there too. And that's through money that the county applied for through their I'm trying to think of what group it is, but anyways, no cost to us. Next is approved construction for pavilion behind the township hall, including concrete and electrical. We tried to get more money through the community foundation, but they wanted to see they wanted us to just finish with what we had that Carol applied for the museum, $5,000. And, so I figured it didn't hurt to ask, so we asked anyways, but we were denied, but, they said, don't stop asking. So when it came to the quote on the pavilion, Dan and myself had reached out to other builders and nobody was interested in quoting it. I don't think we're gonna get a better price than this contractor because one, he did the deck and the ramp on the back, did a wonderful job, and he came in low on that project. And as far as concrete, we'll probably get some concrete donated to us through, what company is that?
It's high grade.
High Grade.
Yeah, down in
Wadhams.
Yeah.
Yep.
John.
So that will probably be coming in lower. And then the electric, I just got an estimate from Ainsworth, who we usually deal with in the township. So at the worst case scenario, with a 10% fluctuation, and I'm including the grant money in that, I'm looking at looking to spend $34,000 at the max. A little cushion there in case anything unexpected comes up, which I don't anticipate. Our guys are going to try to do as much as the groundwork as possible. That'll save us a little bit. So I think it's time that we get that project done.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to use the building in the back that the thresher and the steam engine are in for township storage and move some of the cemetery equipment in there so that the museum can have the basement in the schoolhouse. So.
Question, Bob. Because Carol and I had been to I think we were at a planning commission meeting. What was the name of that Extreme Power, Carol? Extreme Power?
Scott at Extreme Power.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he'd give us up to $10,000 worth of electrical for free.
But do they do this kind of electrical is what I'm saying. I know they do underground and the
Poles
base
and
stuff,
yeah.
but this is for like plugs and lights.
Yeah, I can reach out and ask him.
Yeah, that'd
If
be
you
fine.
would, I'll call you tomorrow.
Sure.
Okay.
So if that's the case, I would even get it down lower.
That'd be nice.
But I'm including all these prices.
That would be wonderful to have that pavilion.
And like I said, we got the $5,000 that's already, so that drops it down. But I'm including the total price, even though we've got the money that has been put into the museum's account budget. It's been budgeted for.
So the 34,000 is the number that you like approval for, up to.
We will. I see no reason why we wouldn't spend less. Because we're gonna have some concrete donated that Dawn asked for. And we got the $5,000 that Carol applied for. And then if Extreme's gonna help with some electrical. Plus, we're reusing a building in the back for other purposes.
I'll make a motion that should be authorized up to 34,000, not to exceed.
A motion by Reno, is there support?
Support.
Support by Falk. Is there any discussion?
It's gonna be very nice. for
Seeing none,
everybody.
roll call by the clerk.
Reno,
Yes.
Falk,
Yes.
Dudash,
Yes.
Pringle,
Yes.
Shonka,
Yes.
Davis, yes, Lewandowski.
Yes. Approval of bills.
Make a motion, we approve the prepaid bills in the amount of $320,869.08.
Motion by Shonka, is there support?
I'll support that.
Support by Pringle, is there any discussion regarding the prepays? Seeing none, roll call by the clerk, please.
Shonka?
Yes.
Pringle?
Yes.
Dudash?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Reno?
Yes.
Davis? Yes. Lewandowski?
Yes.
Make a motion, we approve the current bills in the amount of $189,850.69.
Motion by Shonka, is there support?
I'll support.
Support by Reno. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, roll call by the clerk.
Shonka?
Yes.
Reno?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Pringle?
Yes.
Dudash?
Yes.
Davis? Yes. Lewandowski?
Yes. Board correspondence, the canal. It's said we've had residents that live on the river. We're inquiring about doing a special assessment to help pay the township's so-called portion. With the way the city manager had it set up, if you would have made the bond payments for the amount of years and whatnot, it would have totaled over $1 million. I told him I wasn't interested in bonding, that we could just pay it if that's the way that we went. That lowered it down to $582. I initially talked to residents that live on the river from the canal out to past the marina and bridge harbor, which those people are in the township. They were interested in doing the special assessment. But, and in that discussion, they said, well, I know so-and-so will sign, I know this person will sign, and that person will sign. Well, I've heard from all those people, and they said no. So, but anyways, that's where that got left. Not saying that they can't go and do that if that's what they want to do, but I had talked last week with a council member from the city of Port Huron, and her thought was let's see if they get the money from Representative McLean's office, which so far it's in the pipeline. Now it needs to get appropriated through the budget process in DC. So that's where, since then, I met with a couple of the others that were on the river and told them that that's what I believe the city's stance is. I believe that's what the city should do. To be honest, I don't see where the city's in a position where they can bond for a project like that. But anyways, right now, as far as I'm concerned, we're kind of in a wait and hold and see what they're gonna do. I told them that I think we need to get everybody to the table so that everybody's on the same page as to what they're doing. Fort Gratiot wants to wait and see if the money comes in. There's also a request for Senator Lauer's office for the money. It just doesn't make sense to me to pay for something when you have a good chance of money coming anyways. It's been 2-3 summers now.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't they apply for this same pot of money back then? But as far as I'm concerned, I would like to wait. And I think I've got those that live on the river pretty well convinced that that's what we're gonna do.
Because it would have been an assessment for what, $375 for 25 years? Is that what I heard, or 20 years?
It depends on what the home value is. We would use today's SEV as the baseline. The payments would never go up because we would just use that for the baseline to set the payment, and then the payment would be the same for, I figured we could do it in 15 years, but it would be like 2.5 mils for each resident and business or marina or whatever's on the river that benefits.
I'll be honest, I didn't think that it was right for them to ask our two townships to help with the cost of that, because there's people that come from all over the state. I've talked to, when the canal was open, I'd go down there and walk the dogs, and Wednesdays they'd have a big group of kayakers come in. They come from all over. And I just didn't think that it was right to put that burden on our two townships.
Well,
And all these other people use it.
well, are there other things? I look at it this way. There's other things that I use around the state that locals have paid for that I didn't. It's one of them things you're never going to get a 100% fair way to pay for it if everybody's got to contribute in some form or fashion. I had the last meeting where we were at here, I had a fellow here, he asked about it. I told him about the residents on the river pan. He says he thought it wasn't fair that the township, he doesn't even live on the river, but he thought as a township president, maybe we should kick in a little bit of that portion because there's other residents that use the canal. Well, like I said, there's nothing that would be totally fair. If you were to take a vote on that in the township, for the whole township as a whole to pay for it, no one, it would go down in flames. Same if you did it in the city, it would go down in flames. If we asked for a millage or an assessment to repave Atkins Road, if it was a township-wide assessment, it would go down in flames because people in the south don't use it. It's all of them. Just, not just townships, residents use Bakersfield either. Yeah. And we use parks and other amenities in other areas. So, like I said, it's a hard thing to do. I can't wait till it's done. Some sort of fashion or way, and hopefully it comes from Washington or the state of Michigan to pay for the project. Any thoughts?
I like the thought of waiting to see, it's coming for that, yes.
Thank you.
Certainly,
Personally, I think
wait and see what the
I don't know if they've exhausted all their efforts to involve other people in, the community foundation. They did the St. Clair River Walk. I mean, that's something everybody uses too. Not just city people, but I mean, there's other people that can participate in it.
I think they have reached out to Community Foundation. I think it was a no. But
Like you said,
my thought, why are they waiting this long to ask for money? Now it's a rush to get it done.
I do agree with you as far as having everybody at the table so everybody knows what's going on.
Right, I'll hear from one person, then I'll hear from another person. All right. Trash picked up in the DDA district. I had community service out there a couple weeks ago, and they started kind of behind Big Lots, and they cleaned up a bunch back there. Not that somebody hasn't already dumped some crap back there. But anyways, they're working on it, and they did some behind Kroger, and I'm just keeping them going south. And they got a weekend scheduled for this towards the end of the month. They're going to go picking up garbage. I want to think they picked up 30 to 40 bags, and they filled up the dumpsters behind all those stores because I told them to just throw it in there. And then we still had to haul some away and put in our dumpsters around the township here. But we're working on it. Probably not fast enough, but
Do we look and see if you find anything in this, when they dump stuff, if there's any evidence of where it came from?
we tried.
Okay, I know it's hard. somebody pays somebody to haul stuff away and they think it's going to the landfill and it ends up where you found it.
Right.
But sometimes there's things in there that lead you back to where it came from.
Letters, things like that.
Recreation with the city. We talked about this after the DDA meeting. I got a call from a resident and asked, are we not paying the same rates as the city residents? And I thought we were. Nobody has said anything different. So I called the city manager and he looked into it and got back and said, no, they hadn't been charged. They've been charging the out of resident rate. And I said, tell them to just go back to the resident rate. Get me an updated contract. Because I think we only went over 5,000 by a little bit. Wasn't very, not like Fort Gratiot. They do a lot with that rec program. And he says he's going to get me a contract in writing because I don't want to be making this, and then I'll get it approved by the board so that we can spend over the 5,000 limit. And because I don't want my auditors coming in here saying, where did you approve that? So
I know that the previous, I don't know if it's still part of it, but like the township residents could go to like Lakeside Park for the same money as the city.
they said they're not doing that anymore because they got hosed on that deal. That was part of the canal deal. That had nothing to do with this.
All right. I thought it was part of the rec thing.
Nope.
Okay.
So, city residents should be getting the same prices. Or township residents should get the city resident rate. Interstate Capital's working through what they need to do to construct their building, and they may have a tenant, but I don't know who that is. So, like I said, as long as it conforms to our industrial usage, they can be there. Other than that, that's what I have.
In the DDA, there is work being done to get a new bus shelter at the Blue Water Action, out in front of the Blue Water Action Agency. The sidewalks, in fact, the sidewalks might be done on Howard Street now.
They still need to finish up some grading.
They're working on the landscaping with that. The DDA is also working with DTE, or trying to work with DTE to get the lights changed out to LEDs, be much more efficient. And then there's some landscaping being added to the DDA sign that is on the corner of Griswold and 24.
When I was at conference, I did get a hold of some DTE reps there, and somehow magically
They're hard to get a hold of.
they're flooding us with. We just had a Zoom meeting last Thursday, I think it was. They're going to work on getting a proposal for light conversions and work on getting any lights that are there that are out fixed.
Simcog. Frank, Blue Water Bridge update. There was some in the paper. The latest time proposal for the end of Blue Water Bridge construction is now 15, probably 20 years from now. He'll be still working on it every year through that period. Gordie Howe will be open sometime in the future, which would relieve some of the stress of the trucks here at our bridge, because we are now the #1 truck bridge because of the Gordie Howe, and you know what happens at the ambassador, they can't. But they're all being pushed up to Port Yarn, but And then they came out, finally got, and we'll start working on a new data platform for flood zones. It'll start showing flooding over the period of time. If you look, it won't show residential streets, but it'll do all the county and MDOT streets, states and federal highways, if they're flooding and when they flooded and how many years in a row they flooded. Plus they expanded that to show heat zones, so that you know where roads are buckling from heat. And that's gonna be in that same data format. So if you're looking, that's what we've been pushing on, probably get that one of us being released. That's all it right now.
Anything else?
No, I'm all right.
No, you would.
No, I don't have any.
Oh,
That's it.
okay. I just had a question, Bob. I didn't know where to ask this at, so I was gonna ask it here. So for the EDA thing that I got from you this afternoon, I just had a question for you to see if you can answer this for me. Met with the data center developer, just an introduction. Another meeting is planned and research data center ordinances. Do you know anything about, or what do you know about that? Or
I
if
don't
you
know
can tell
anything
us?
about that.
Okay. And then also, I got this, I know we're gonna work on, we talked about doing the data center moratorium.
Yeah, that's going before that's gotta start at the planning commission.
It's on our agenda for May 13th.
Me too, okay.
The meeting is on Wednesday this month instead of Thursday due to a training session on Thursday through the county plan.
And that's about data center.
It's on data centers and that's how it goes. But our meeting will be on Wednesday rather than Thursday.
Okay, then I'll give this to you, John. It's from Commissioner Torello. She helped Kimball Township write their data moratorium. And you know, they just, like with ordinance and regulations, they kind of go back and forth and use as a template. So I just had her send me this, and I'll just give this to you.
Okay.
So you do it.
I'll make sure I'll put in a copy in Mike's box tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's a sample moratorium
And then
from MTA that's gonna be with the packet.
Oh, okay.
Anyone else have anything?
Any additional discussion on the music festival down at Bakersfield?
No, they're looking for I haven't talked to Veronica, but they're looking for a band for Friday night.
Oh.
It's gonna be Cliff Erickson on Saturday night.
Yep.
And no, it seems to be coming along. We'll just, like I say, it's a test for next year to see if we can't maybe do maybe 4 of them. I don't know.
I know there's been discussion, we talked last time about the golf course, Black River Country Club Golf Course, and just from my viewpoint, it is getting very busy over there, so they are doing very well. So it's nice to see, and I've heard that they're stealing some members from Port Huron because that offer that they're throwing out there, so I'm happy to see.
Perfect. Any word on when they might have food out there?
They had food this weekend.
Where you could order in?
I don't know. I wasn't there, but I had
Okay.
heard that there was some food when you come around the bend. So
When you come around the bend, that means like out on the golf course.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not a golfer, but yeah. All right.
You know what? I'm sorry, I have one more thing. It's about the museum. And Carol is going to go talk to Michigami.
Michigami School, the principal, the president of the school board, and the 5th grade teachers tomorrow.
So what the museum is planning on doing in October, we plan on with that beautiful new pavilion that we're going to have up there, getting the 5th grade graders. Carol had secured a grant, transportation grant, and being able to bring the fifth graders to the museum to have like a museum day. And also we would like to get senior citizens, give them a special day, and maybe have some of the grant money left with transportation to be able to get Township's senior citizens to come out for coffee and donuts at the museum one day.
Via the City of Port Huron Museum's trolley. That's what we'll do, so, it'll be fun.
Yeah, really nice.
That's it. A motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Pringles, support by Dudash. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned.